So we are going to continue from where we stopped last time. Let me see, where did we stop? So yeah, last time on Monday, these are the things that we did. We did not finish chapter 2, but we added some information. So under chapter 2, I remember telling you that chapter 2 contains what we call theoretical. No. It contains what we call literature review. Okay, and then under literature review, there are so many things that we have under literature review. Okay, one of them is theoretical review, another one is review studies, another one is empirical studies, and then the last one is what? Is research stuff. So these are the items that you are supposed to tackle when you are under chapter 2, which is literature review. And I remember telling you that the meaning of literature review is reviewing other people's literature, reviewing other people's information. That is what it means. That is what literature review means. Okay, so when you say literature review, you should not get confused. It means reviewing or copying other people's work, and then you can modify it, you can add more information, you can delete some information, okay, and then you use it. That becomes literature review. So literature review means that you are using other people's literature, other people's information. Okay, so the first item, of course, it is theoretical review. I remember showing you how we did this. Okay, you are supposed to first theoretical review is the same as theoretical perspective in chapter 1. If you remember theoretical perspective in chapter 1, then theoretical review is in chapter 2, but both of them are almost the same. Okay, and I remember telling you that how do you do this? You're supposed to first by identifying the name of the theory. Okay, which name or which theory are you going to use? First, I identify the name of the theory. After that, look for the names of the author, the names of the author or authors of the theory. It can be one author, it can be two authors. Then after that, look for the year in which the theory was developed. And then after that, go and look for general information, just general information or general concepts about what? About the theory. Okay. Then after that, the last paragraph should contain relevance or importances of the theory to the study. So it's just as simple as that. So those are the procedures that you need to go through whenever you are doing theoretical review. So theoretical review is the same as theoretical perspective in chapter 1. Theoretical review is in chapter 2, okay, but theoretical perspective is in chapter 1, you know that. And then, of course, we did that. Then after that, you're supposed to go to what we call review of related studies. Now, under review of related studies, you're supposed to explain your objectives. Remember, this is our first objective, effect of bonuses on employee performance at Sanama Bank. Then another objective, effect of wages on employee performance at Sanama Bank. Another one is effect of allowances on employee performance. That's where we stop. Now, how do we gather information that we use here? You need to go to the internet and look for any information as long as it talks about allowances and employee performance. Then you can be able to use it. Okay, so how do you do that? We are going to go to Google. Okay, so let us go to Google. Okay, and then we search for what? We search for effect of allowances on employee performance. Just as simple as that. So whichever information you get, as long as it talks about these two things, then we can use it. Okay, you can use that information because we are just looking for literature review. We are looking for other people's literature, other people's information. So whichever information you get, as long as it talks about allowances and it also talks about employee performance, then we can be able to use it. So let me open this. I can as well take this. I can as well take this. Okay, employee performance. Let's take this. So those are some of the things. Those are some of the PDF files that I've opened. Some of the files that I've opened. Okay. Let me see whether there's anything here. This one is still opening. The same applies here. This one I don't think it's going to give us good information. So let me first look at these PDF files that I've just obtained. So look at this one, for instance. The topic is evaluation study effect of allowances and job creativity. The performance of the teacher in secondary vocational school province of Eastern Tengra. So, of course, we don't have to care about the case study, even if it is for Kenya, even if it is for Nigeria, even if it is for Sudan. As long as it talks about what we want, allowances and employee performance, then we can be able to use the information. Okay, so we don't get scared whenever you find that the case study is for another country. No, because we remember we're using secondary data. chapter 2 is for secondary data, and we are reviewing other people's literature. The information that we are reviewing is not our information, it is for other people's information. Okay, so what we're going to be looking for is the keyword allowances. So how do we search for the keyword allowances? We are going to come here on search and then find and type in the word allowances or allowance, and then press enter, and then it will just highlight for you the places where that keyword is, but it doesn't appear in very many places. Maybe here. Okay, these ones, I think these ones are okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy all of these because the keyword allowance is there. So copy them like that, and then go back to our work. Okay, go back to our chapter 2, and then we paste something like that. Okay, but before we finish, I can just like that. Before we go ahead, let us first see how many, which places have the keyword allowances. You can see that it is here, it is here. Then how about employee performance? Because you have to make sure that every paragraph contains allowances and employee performance. It is a must. So let us search for performance. Performance, yeah, it is also there. Only that the first paragraph, the word performance is not there. So let us add the word performance to the first paragraph. So look for where there is a full stop, for instance, here. So before you put a full stop, connect it to DV manually. So this is now your job. This is your responsibility as a searcher to connect IV to DV, because we have already looked at that. We have already seen that in the first paragraph there is no DV. There is no the word performance. So it is your responsibility to add it there. So what we are going to do is allowance. Let us read through. Allowance expressed as an award received by a person who has given the effort, time and mind to work and give my best for the organization. Okay, often helps enhance performance. Allowance expressed as an award. Okay, which often helps enhance the performance of employees. Okay, something like that. Even if you stop there, that is enough. So I've added the word performance. Okay, and that is what we wanted. Every paragraph should have the word performance or employee performance. Okay, then after that, we're going to go ahead and look for more information. So let us go back to the internet, just like this. Okay, let us go to another PDF file. This is effect of performance allowance on training, whatever. So let us first search for the keyword allowances. Okay, so that we first, because you need to first identify the paragraphs where that keyword is. Okay, but it doesn't appear in very many places. So that one is not very critical. Let me try this one. Yeah, this one is in very many places. Yeah, this is okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take, for instance, this first paragraph, just like this, copy it, and then I go where? I go back to our search, our chapter 2, and then we paste it there, just like that. Let me see whether there is the word performance. Is the word performance there in the last paragraph? Yes, it's there. So after that, let us go back and look for what? Look for more information. So this is how we gather information for literature review guides. Okay, let us see whether we can take another paragraph. Okay, we can as well take this one. Where should I start from? We can as well take this, copy it, and then we go back to our work, and then we paste it there. Just as simple as that. Okay, so guys, this is how you're supposed to be looking for information that you are supposed to use in where? In chapter 2, especially the second part for review of related studies. So the first part is theoretical review. I've already explained everything to you. Okay, the first part is 2.1 is supposed to be theoretical review. Then 2.2 is supposed to be review of related studies. Now, under review of related studies, that is the part where you're supposed to explain your objectives. When I say explain your objectives, it means that list your objectives and then look for information and put it below those objectives. Okay, and when we're doing this, we don't focus on the case study. The information that we put here is not for Saraba Bank, it's not for Mogadishu. It's just talking about IV and DV. That's all. Whether it is for Nigeria, whether it is for Kenya, whether it is for South Africa, you can as well copy that information and put it here. As long as it talks about IV and talks about DV. That is all. Okay, and by the way, in most cases, These objectives are usually ignored. These case studies are usually ignored. Okay, remember this is our objective. So what most people do, they just delete the case study like this and they stop at the employee performance. Okay, Sanama Bank at Sanama Bank Mogadishu, they delete those words just like that. And that one doesn't have any big impact. If you want, you can leave it like that. If you want, you can put them there. Okay, but even if you put them there, you are not supposed to focus on Sanama Bank Mogadishu because this is what we call a literature review. This is not your information. This is not the information we are putting here is not yours. It is for other people. What other people have researched regarding your IV and DV. Okay, but remember when we are doing that, we are following up. We are following our objectives. Okay, so the information that we have here is not for Sanama Bank. Many people usually ask me, but teacher, lecturer, why is it that the information we have here is not for a case study? No, I know some supervisors, some lecturers are so stubborn. Whenever they find the information that talks about Kenya, yet you are carrying out research from Mogadishu, Sanama Bank, they'll ask you, are you researching about Sanama Kenya? It is because this chapter is chapter 2. Chapter 2 contains what we call theoretical review. Okay, therefore you are reviewing other people's information, the information that has been published by other people in different countries, whether it is UK, whether it is Canada, whether it is Nigeria, whether it is Uganda. As long as it talks about your IV and DV, you can be able to use that information. So whatever information you get, as long as it talks about IV and DV, you can be able to copy that information and then bring it here. Okay, so that is it. Then after that, but we've not yet finished, guys. We have not yet finished because we need to put in citations. I have to show you how to put in citations, then references, because many people, they don't know how to do those things. Then after that, we are going to go to empirical studies. Now, what are empirical studies? Here, you're supposed to put any information related to your IV and DV. When I say IV and DV, I mean motivation and pre-performance. Okay, so you're supposed to look for any information as long as it's related to IV and DV, and then you put it here. Okay, so that is what we call empirical studies. Remember, up here we have been gathering information in line with our objectives. This is the third objective. This was the second objective, and then this one is the first objective. Okay, but of course within the objective there are independent variable and dependent variable. But these are constructs of IV. These are the measurements of IV: bonuses, allowances, and wages. Those are the indicators of IV. But when you come to empirical studies, you're not supposed to focus on allowances, wages, and bonuses. No, you're supposed to look for the main IV, the main independent variable, which is motivation. So we're supposed to look for any information that talks about motivation and the pre-performance. Copy it and put it here, just as simple as that. Okay, so empirical studies is not a must that it has to be included there in your research, but we usually add it there so that you can get many pages, because sometimes you can look for information that is in line with the objectives and find that the information that you obtain is not enough, and your supervisor is asking for many pages. So what you do, you add in empirical studies, you add the section of empirical studies, and then look for any information that you can obtain, as long as it talks about your IV and DV. Copy that information and then come and paste it here, just as simple as that. So let us look for information for IV and DV, which is empirical studies. So we're going to go back to the internet, or if you want, we can even go back to our folder and then we open the PDF files. This is our folder. We can even open our PDF files like this one. Let me open them. Okay, just like this. So that is the first PDF file. You can see that the topic is almost similar to ours, but the case study is different. This case study is for Bangladesh, but our case study is where Sanama Bank Mogadishu. So it doesn't matter whether it is for Bangladesh, whether it is for Nairobi, whether it is for Canada, but as long as your IV is the same, your DV is the same, then you can be able to know what to use the information. So what we are going to be searching for is motivation, which is IV. So press Ctrl F and search for the word motivation. Okay, so you can see that motivation appears in many places. So what you're going to do, you're going to copy all of those paragraphs where there is the keyword motivation. Okay, just like that. And then you do what? You come back to our research. Okay, and then we paste it there, just as simple as that. Okay, I can as well do like this. Let me increase on the size a little bit. So guys, so that is how you're supposed to be gathering information for empirical studies. We can as well go back to another PDF file. If you don't want to copy from the same PDF file because of plagiarism, open another PDF file like this. Okay, then after opening it, then search for the keyword motivation. So you can see that it appears in many places, so you can copy all this information. But make sure you copy the information that you have not yet copied. If you use this information in chapter 1, please don't copy it again and put it in chapter 2. That is double plagiarism. That is even dangerous. Okay, so when you are copying, make sure that you don't copy the information that you have already copied. Okay, you don't have to use the information in chapter 1 and use also the same information in chapter 2. No, that is wrong. That is totally wrong. Okay, so what we are supposed to do, copy and go where? Go to chapter 2 and then we paste it there, just like that. Okay, then let me increase on the size. So I think that is enough. So that is what you are supposed to be putting under what? Under empirical studies. Any information that talks about IV and DV. Okay, no matter what. So as long as you get the information that talks about IV and DV, you can just copy it and then you do what? You bring it there. Now, after that, we are going to go to something else, which is research gap. Okay, now research gap here, you're supposed to talk about what your scholars did not mention, or talk about the criticisms of your literature. Okay, so these are the things that you need to follow whenever you're writing research gap. Research gap is very technical, guys. Okay, so for instance, you have been gathering this information. Remember, this is chapter 2. Okay, you've gathered this information from many sources. Okay, so when someone says that you write what you call research gap, it means that you are supposed to go to this information that you have just copied and pasted here, and then identify what the scholars did not mention. But before we go there, let me first show you something. Let us first do what we call references, because I want to show you how you come up with references, how you gather the references, how you make citations. Okay, because many people, they don't know about that. So let me just create a new page, something like this. After creating a new page, this page is going to be for references because we're going to gather them from here. Okay, I can as well even save it. So these are our references. Then, now these references, we usually have two formats. We have what we call Harvard style, and we also have what we call APA style. Okay, let me start with APA style. Okay, we have APA style. Okay, and what is APA style? This is APA style. You're supposed to start with, but before we go there, let me first show you the format or the structure of references. Okay, before we go to the formats, let me first show you the general structure or the format of references. You're supposed to start with the name or names of the author or authors. It can be one author or many authors, followed by the year in brackets, followed by the title of the book, followed by the edition of that book, followed by the publishing company, followed by the pages. So that is the structure. That is the format that you're supposed to go through whenever you're doing what? Whenever you're writing your references. So now, under references, we have two types of references or two styles of references. We have APA style and we also have Harvard style. Okay. Now, which one do we usually use? Most of the universities that we have in Uganda, they usually use what? APA style. Okay, so this is the recommended style that you're supposed to use. Okay, but it is only the only university that I know that uses Harvard style in Uganda is Clark International University. So if you're studying from Clark, please, you're supposed to use Harvard style. But if you're studying from any other university in Uganda apart from Clark, then you're supposed to use APA style. Whether KIU, whether IUIU, whether East Africa, whether Cavendish, you're supposed to use APA style when you're writing your references. Now, what is APA style? APA style is supposed to be like this. You're supposed to start with the names of the author, okay, and this is how we write them. For instance, maybe you are called Amina Mahmoud Hassan, okay, you wrote this book in 2014. The title of the book is maybe the dynamics of motivation in Somali banks. Okay, this was the second edition. Okay, it was published from Macmillan Press This company is located in where? Actually, I forgot to put location here. Okay, this is located in where? In maybe in Canada. Okay, or California. Actually, it's located in California. Okay, then PG stands for pages, maybe from this page up to this page, something like that. So this is what we call APA style. Okay, I want you guys to see the difference between APA style and Harvard style. Okay, APA style, you write the first name, then the other names are supposed to be abbreviated. Okay, whereas Harvard style, you're supposed to write like this. You write all the names in full. Amina Muhammad Hassan. Okay, are you seeing that this is totally different from this? So this is the difference between APA and Harvard style. For APA style, you write the first name, then the other names are supposed to be abbreviated. Whereas for Harvard style, you're supposed to write all the names in full. So that is the difference that we have between APA style and Harvard style. Okay, whether you're doing whichever course that you're studying, okay, as long as you're studying from Crack University, then you're supposed to use Harvard style. Therefore, it means that all your references are supposed to be in this format. Okay, then in case you are not studying from Crack, you're studying from Cavendish, IIU, East Africa, KU, whichever university apart from Crack, then you're supposed to use what? APA style. And APA style, you write the first name of the author, and then the other names of the authors, you write the first letters of those names. Okay, you abbreviate them. It means that you write the first letters, M instead of Muhammad, H instead of Hassan. Okay, so that's how you write your references in APA style. So let us write the reference. Let us get the references. Now, how do we get the references? We get the references from where? From our PDF files that we downloaded. So what we are going to do, we are going to go back to our PDF files that we downloaded. This is our folder. So we are going to open also this. Let us open this. Let us also open which one? Let us also open this. Okay, so we have opened all the PDF files. Okay, not all of them, but some of them. So what we are going to do, but you have to make sure that this topic is the same as your topic. IV is the same as your IV. His DV is supposed to be the same as your, even if the case study is different. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to go back, we are going to go down here, the part of references, and then we look at the references that this person has used and see whether we can be able to use them. So let us copy the references. So when you come to references, these are the references. Now, when you are copying the references, please, you have to make sure that you take references that are between, that are recent. Okay, what do I mean? I mean, when you are taking references, your references should be at least for the last 10 years. Okay, something like this, meaning that all your references should be at least recent. They should be at least for they should be for at least the last 10 years. Okay, actually some supervisors in IUIU, they are very strict. They can tell you they want references for the last 5 years, meaning that you are going to take your references starting from when? 2016, 2015, 2016 there up to 2020. Okay, meaning that if you have a citation like this, then you cannot use it. Why? Because the year is too old. And here your supervisor wants the last 5 years. Okay, but most universities, they usually ask for the last 10 years. But IUIU is a little bit different. You can even tell you to use the last 4 years. So, because those people are very stubborn. Okay, but let us use the last 10 years. Okay, something like that. So, what we are going to do, we are going to go back to our work, our PDF file that we have just gotten, and then look for citations. Okay, look for those citations that are between 2010 up to 2020. Okay, which ones? For instance, this one we can't take it because this is very old. Okay, 2010, yes, we can take it. 2010, we can take it. So let us copy these ones first, and then we take them, copy them, and then we come where? Come to our work and paste them down there, just like that. Then we are going to go back, look for more citations. 2019, 2010, Bank of Ghana. Okay, if you want, you can take it. 2009, no, 19, 2002, 2001. We cannot take these citations because they are very old. Our citations should begin from 2010. Okay, you can see all these are not from 2010. They are very old, so we cannot use them. Okay, so We can also take this one is 2010, we can take it, copy it, and then we take it where? Take it in our work, just like that. Okay. So we are going to go back and look for more citations, just like that. This is 2001, 2011. Yes, you can take this. Okay. Let me see whether we can get another one. 2008, 2001, 2010, we can take it. Okay. So guys, this is how we are supposed to be gathering references to use. Okay, you don't just copy any references and then use them up. No, you need to look for references that are related to your topic, and then at the same time, they should be very recent. They should be at least for the last 10 years. Okay, because if they are like, for instance, if you have something like this, your supervisor can even laugh at you because you cannot use a citation like this or a reference like this because this is very old. Okay, because your supervisor will tell you that the information that you have used in chapter 2 is outdated because the information that was published in 1990 is not the same information that these days they're using. Okay, so you have to make sure that you use information that is recent. Okay, so that is what you're supposed to be doing. Then after that, let me see. After that, we are going, let me see, are these enough? No, they are not enough. Let us see whether we can get more citations, more references. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to go to another PDF file. We have been copying references from this PDF file, so let us go to another PDF file. But the topic has to be the same IV as yours, same DV as yours. Go down to the references and see the references that they have used. Okay, so these are the references that they are using. But of course, you have to pick the ones that are from 2010 up to 2020. Okay, so I'm going to copy these ones just like this. Copy it, and then we take it where? We take it in our work, something like that. Okay, then go back, look for more citations, more references rather. We can as well take all these two, seeing all of them are okay. Okay, you can as well take these two, copy them, and then we do what? We take them to our work, just like that. Okay, so I think these are enough. Okay, so I've showed you how you're supposed to be gathering citations. If you want, you can put them in a chronological order, just like that. Okay, something like that. Okay, and then whenever they say APA, make sure you do something like this. You have to make sure that you tab them by 2 inches and then take this one back. Okay, when you see this, it means that you are sure you are putting them in APA style. Okay, so they shouldn't all be on the same line. The first parts of the statement, they should be behind, and then the rest of the other parts should be at least 2 inches from this line. Okay, so that is how you are gathering references. Now, how do we make citations? Remember, these are our references. Okay, and our references contain many things. Contain name of the author, the year, the title of the book, the edition, the publishing company, the location, and the pages. Okay, so when we come to citing or making citations are made up of 2 things: the name of the author and then the year. So when we are going to cite, for instance, this one, we're going to copy this just like that, and then we go to our chapter 2. Let's go to chapter 2. Okay, and then look for where there's a full stop. Okay, where there's a full stop, the full stop is here, or even this one. Create space, open bracket, and then we paste. Okay, and make sure that you remove this bracket because this bracket is already here. So move that bracket and also delete the initial. Okay, this other initial should be deleted from there. So that is what you're supposed to be doing, guys. Okay, that is the citation. Then after that, we are going to go back to our references. Copy another one just like that, and when you are copying, copy the names and the year only. Don't copy any other thing. Okay, copy those 2 things and then go to your work just like this. Okay, and then look for where there's a full stop. The full stop is here. Okay, open bracket and then we paste. Okay, make sure you remove this bracket because it is already here. And then the initials of other names should also go away. So this is what we call APA referencing, guys. Okay, every paragraph in chapter 2 should have a citation. You can see that all these paragraphs don't have citation, but you have, it is your responsibility as the researcher to put in citations in each and every paragraph. Okay, you can put in 1 citation, 2 citations in each and every paragraph. Okay, so let us go back to our references. We have taken that one, so let us take this one now, copy it. Okay, and then we go back where to our chapter 2, and then look for this where there is a full stop, like here, open bracket, and then we paste. And make sure you remove that bracket and put a comma. So that is a citation. Then after that, go back to your references. So guys, this is how you are gathering. This is how you're supposed to be gathering what? Citations. Okay, copy them, and then go back to your work and look for a full stop. For instance, a full stop is here. Open bracket, and then you paste. Okay, just like that. Then since these are 2 people, I'm going to say and then remove this bracket and the initial of this other person, and you put a comma. So this is also a citation. So that is how we are supposed to be putting in citations, guys. Okay, then after that, you are supposed to be putting citations in each and every paragraph, guys. Okay, each and every paragraph. So these are many authors. I'm going to show you how you're supposed to do this in case you have more than 2 authors, more than 3 authors. So let us look for a full stop. There is a citation here. Let us go to another paragraph. Okay, open bracket, then we paste. Now, here we have a problem. We have 1, 2, 3. Actually, there are 3 authors. So if there are 3 authors and above, you need to remove all the authors. You leave the first one only. Okay, delete the other authors and leave the first one and add ETAL dot comma. So whenever you see these words, these symbols, okay, whenever you see these, it means that there are other authors that you have not mentioned, that we have just deleted. And we only do this when the authors are 3 and above. If there are 3, if there are 4, if there are 5, if there are 10, if there are 20, you write only the first name of the first author and then delete the rest and put ETAL, there is a dot and a comma. Not only a comma, there is a dot here and a comma. Whereas other times, you're not supposed to be putting what? A dot. You only put a comma, you see? Here, there is no dot. But if you put ETL, you're supposed to put a dot and a comma, then you put the year. Okay, so that is how you can cite. Remember, when you are making these citations, you need to copy the names of the authors from where? From your references, just like this. Okay, copy the names and the year, and then go to your work, and then you paste what? You paste in those citations, just like that. But these ones are also still very many. So what we are going to do, we are going to delete all of them, and we put ETAL dot comma and remove also this inside bracket should go away, something like that. Okay, so that's how you are supposed to be making citations. So you need to do that for each and every paragraph. Okay, this paragraph, this one. Okay, of course, because of time, I cannot put in each and every paragraph, but that is your responsibility as the researcher. You need to put in citations in each and every paragraph. Do you have any questions?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Firdaus.
And last time you said in literature review, and there is a difference between those students who study public health and other students. So can you show us
the difference?
Yeah.
Okay, the difference is not in chapter 2, it's not in chapter 1. The difference is in chapter 3. When we reach chapter 3, I will show you the difference. Okay, but chapter 1 and chapter 2, they are the same. There is no difference there. But when you go to chapter 3, you reminded me so that I show you the difference. For those people who are doing public health, their chapter 3 is different from these other people who are doing other courses like business, social work, what are the difference? Okay, so there's some difference. Yes, what something. I don't know how to. Ahmed Jama, please. Abdwedi, ask a question.
Yes, teacher. What is research gap? Research gap is copied from another book or research gap. It comes from your mind.
Okay, now research gap, it has to come from your information. For instance, I think you've seen how I've gathered this information. Okay, I was copying from other people's work, other people's dissertation, other people's PDF file. Okay, that's how I've been gathering this information. Okay, even the part of objectives, that's how I gather the information. because this chapter is literature review, reviewing other people's literature, modifying, looking for other people's information, copy it, and then edit. You can add more information, you can delete some information. That means that you are reviewing other people's information. Now, how do you come up with the research gap? Now, research gap means that you need to talk about what your scholars did not mention. I'm going to give you an example. For instance, let me just use this one. I'm just going to do it like this. I can even say Ahmed 2010 noted that, I don't want to use very complicated words, noted that motivation of employees is an important inner control tool and should be satisfied in order to attain advantages such as increased employee commitment, increased productivity and efficiency. So that is the information that was obtained by who? From who? From Ahmed 2010. Now, Ahmed wrote a book. This Ahmed guy wrote a book in 2010. That's where the information is coming from. Now, this is the opinion, or this is what this person said. Okay, but you as a researcher, you can read through, and sometimes you might identify what he did not mention. Okay, for instance, someone can say this and this and this and this, and then he forgets to mention something. Okay, so what he forgets to mention, when you come and mention it, it becomes the gap. Okay, for instance, someone can say Mogadishu has 15 districts. Okay, but for you know there are how many districts? There are 17 districts in Mogadishu. So you come and you criticize him and say, no, in Mogadishu there are 17 districts, not 15 districts. So that one becomes the gap. So the gap is you criticizing what has been said by your scholars. The scholars I'm talking about are these ones. Okay, these authors that we're just putting in, these ones, those are the scholars. Okay, these ones. These are the scholars. So read through what they have said here and then identify the part that you can disagree with. You can't disagree with everything, but you can read through and find some places where you can disagree with. Okay, some paragraphs that are not understandable, some paragraphs that don't apply for Somalia. Okay, so let me see. Let me see whether we can pick something. For instance, according to so and so, association administration can easily increase the work performance of the workforces with the help of additional benefit. You can say that additional benefit is the above salary that gives employees that above salary gives the employees according to their performance. Bonus is important. Okay, fine. So bonus is an important tool for increasing productivity. That is according to this person. Okay, but for you, you might want to disagree with this statement. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to copy the author and the statement that you want to disagree, just like that, and then go down to the gap here. Okay, and then we say so and so 2015 noted that bonus is an important tool for increasing productivity. Then you can now criticize him and say, however, this person